Hello, everybody. Mr. Moo here in the cockpit, here in Elite Dangerous. There we go. Here in the Narvert system, but not for long. We're heading for Wang. Ah, tell you what a difference just 24-hour makes. Commander Verid 07, Marino Twine, hello there. Master 10, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming in and deciding to spend time with me. Shoutouts first. Paratroop 73, thank you so much for that subscription yesterday. I'm sorry I wasn't able to say it on the air, but some utility work knocked me off the air. But hey, we're back. And that's the important bit. Also, shout out to Anonymous Bog. Thank you so much for the follow, and Man with an Accent. I remember speaking to you on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for the follow. Hope you enjoy the stream. Hope you enjoy your stay. So, for those who don't know, the bubble and a lot of groups are basically on red alert. We're just waiting for the we are just waiting for the shoe to drop or the bio waste to hit the fan. Commander Vanna, thank you so much for the host. Yeah, we've got a bit of a problem happening. So for those that don't know, 24 hours ago, there was a message, a listening post that hadn't been active in ever. The thing had been dormant, shut down, whatever. 24 hours ago, it went active and it broadcast a message. It broadcast a message in French, and the significance of this message is two parts. The first part of the message was broadcast before D-Day happened, like a couple weeks before D-Day happened, and that would have been June 6th, I want to say 44? I believe so. I'm a little bad, I'm a little rusty on my history. I can't remember if it was 43 or 44, and suddenly I feel terrible for that, but... no, D-Day, the Allied invasion of France. And the first part of this message was to tell the French resistance, stand by, we will be invading within 2 weeks. And then the second half of the message, 1944, thank you so much, Black Omega. The second half of the message was, begin sabotage operations, we will be invading within 48 hours. Both of those messages have been played out of this listening post. We don't know who they're directed at. We don't know who they've come from. But it's got everybody on edge. Myself included, especially with Commander Hardcore. He got hyperdicted the other day, exiting the Narvert system. So that's just all kinds of fun and paranoia fuel going off right now. Turlock 07, welcome to the show. And then, on top of that, I was checking Galnet, and they had the usual weekly update of starports. Had the usual starport update. Well, that showed that 2 starports in the Peregrina system were suffering from Thargoid probe damage, or Thargoid sensors. What we used to call the unknown artifacts. Now, there's only 2 stations in Peregrina, if I remember right. And let me get landed, and then I can show you the significance of Peregrina, because that is one of those star systems that you go nope. You nope, you activate the nope drive and you GTFO. Because Peregrina, in the lore, and also on the galaxy map, well, when I say you avoid it like the plague, that's not hyperbole. Let's get landed and I can drop off this data. We also need to buff up the Wang and Theditic systems, just so we avoid another war in the middle of all of this, because why not? That's the last thing we need, isn't it? Okay, weapons fire detected. I'm not too worried about that. Orion, that doesn't make much sense. If it's Thargoids, how would they know French or the significance of D-Day? Well, that's the question, Orion. Delta Fire Dragon, hey there. How you doing? So yeah, Orion, from the novels, and I am not sure of the canonicity, but I'm pretty sure that they are at least semi-canon. There are Thargoid agents in the bubble. I keep wanting to say the inner sphere. But no, there are Thargoid agents in the bubble. Infiltrators. And we know that there are certain groups of Thargoid sympathizers. Whether deliberately or whatever. So, yes, the D-Day messages were messages to the French resistance. Now that's the question. Who's the resistance in this case? Who's doing the sabotaging? Gear down.
Lowering landing gear.
That is the million credit question right there. Well, glad you could share your break with us, Delta. Let me turn in the mission here. And then I will look up the Peregrina system. I mean, it could be Thargoids. That's a big assumption. It could be the Club. It could be some other group. It could be Blackwing, for all we know. There is zero... Well, okay, I should be... You know, I should emphasize this. There is zero clue who broadcast this thing. Could be Thargoids to Thargoid sympathizers. Could be humans to other humans. It could be... That's the big problem. Nobody knows. But what we do know is, and thank goodness for the people who have the permit on this, because they worked hard to fix this. If you saw the weekly Starport update, the Peregrina system was seeing UA bombing. Peregrina, let me just direct you to this galaxy map entrance. Or entry. Warning! Plague system. The only life-bearing body has been cordoned off due to native pathogens. Any ship passing into the moon's atmosphere will be automatically designated a plague ship, refused docking in all systems, and destroyed on-site by all factions and security system security forces. System trade consists of rumored alien artifacts found in deep space, along with moderate mineral deposits in the system's inner asteroid belt. The two stations surrounding that moon were suffering Thargoid probe damage. This system is, from what I understand, Peregrina 1A. That is the name of the moon. Peregrina 1A was a terraforming gone horribly, horribly wrong. I mean, like, you know, hey, we found a cure for cancer, it just gives you Ebola. And then cancer on top. And then the cancer has Ebola. It's turbo plague. And the two observation stations there, Talos 1 and 2, and Talos is a very telling name. Talos was the bronze giant that stalked the shores of, I want to say Crete? I could be wrong, but during the story of Jason and the Argonauts, Talos was this giant bronze, call him a robot, basically, who would stalk the shores of this island on patrol and throw great big stones and bombard any ship trying to exit or enter the place. You just couldn't... You died. This thing was the perfect defense system. And there's Talos 1 and Talos 2 orbiting this planet. And they were both suffering from UA damage. Fortunately, well, unfortunately, the place is permit locked. Fortunately, the people who do have the permits have been shuttling meta-alloys and got the place all fixed up. So we're good there. Yeah, so we are good there, and there's, hopefully that's going to be taken care of, because if it were... Now, I've heard a few other things, interestingly enough, that there were stations there, built by Thargoids, but built with human physiology in mind. They were Thargoid-built stations for humans. Now, I don't know the veracity of these claims, but I've heard it kind of whispered around in the lore. So that's interesting. This was almost like some kind of joint human Thargoid whatever. And, well, look what we turned loose on the Thargoids, the mycoid virus. If this was some kind of attempt at getting retribution, then again, we don't know what the Cerberus plague was yet. Oh, questions on top of questions on top of just a great big mess. Okay, internal reports delivered to Thedidic. We need that. Yeah, Turlock. It's just Ebola. The entire atmosphere is Ebola. Might be something to that. Alright, so we're going to... Universal Cardo... Okay. So I went out and I engineered a ship to try to take care of any Thargoid threat that may be showing up. Not sure how well it'll work, but it was designed by the same guy that I conspired with to build the Taurus, so it's got a pretty good it's got a pretty good track record on it. Hardcore, thank you so much for the host. Welcome to the show. Booscore, good evening. Marino Twine, is the plague real, or are they hiding something on that moon? I'm pretty sure the plague is real.
Cannot comply.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Alicors, did I join at the wrong time? No, we were talking about the Peregrina system. A system that is... The one planet in the system that can carry life is such a nasty plague on it, that even if your ship enters the atmosphere... You are, if your ship enters atmosphere, you are instantly flagged as hostile, kill on sight, by every pilot, faction, superpower, security group, and station in the galaxy. Evergreen Rogue 07, Gret, hello there. Cassador, hello, how you doing? Oh, it's Friday, and yeah. on a scale of that's not free checking to the heat death of the universe, we are looking at potentially imminent alien invasion. Galactic Area 51? No. If it were Area 51, it would be even more closed off, like Triton is in the Sol system. You can't land on Triton, period. That is not even, that is beyond permit locked. No, not, well, Alicor is kinda in our home systems, in the Peregrina system. It's about 100 and some light years away from Narvert. Now, it's an Earth-like world, so you can't even get down there anyway. This is just lore stuff, but... yeah, it's a mess. No, Marino Twine, you couldn't land in a Sidewinder because the kill-on-sight order isn't just for ships. It's for everybody on those ships. You, If you are tagged as being on that vessel when it even touches the atmosphere of this planet, they don't stop until you are monoatomic ash. And then they throw that ash into a star, just to be certain. Then they collect the solar wind and toss it down a black hole, just to be double certain. Orion, how do you get the permit? Not sure. It sounds like people do have the permit for Peregrina. You just have to, go to systems nearby and work with the factions that are friendly. Standard permit gathering, if I had to make a guess. Yeah, just like Superman, throw it into the sun. Yeah. And then throw the sun into a black hole. This is a case of bury it with a shovel and then bury the shovel. Gear down.
Lowering gear.
Yep, bury it. Bury it deep. Bury it with a shovel and then bury the shovel. Sounds like a lot of effort. It is, Alicors. Let's see here. And then throw the black hole into the Phantom Zone. Yes. But no, Alicors, to cover, it's called the Peregrina system, and let me just give it one more readout here. One more reading on this, this map entry, because holy crap, they aren't screwing around. And I quote, "Warning, plague system. The only life-bearing body has been cordoned off due to native pathogens. Any ship passing into the moon's atmosphere will be automatically designated a plague ship, refused docking in all systems, and destroyed on-site by all faction and system security forces." That's not the welcome mat, that's barbed wire in a minefield. But basically what happened there was terraforming that, as it says native pathogens, it was some kind of terraforming that went terribly wrong. Or terribly right, depending on who you ask. And just generated some kind of, I don't even know what it is, some kind of plague that can survive on the hull of a ship, can survive atmospheric heat, can survive hyperspace, and will still mess up your day. I mean, yeah, it's... This stuff is so bad that they nuke you from orbit, just to be sure. And I'm a little worried. Please tell me we aren't going to war. Please tell me we aren't going to war. Massacre, assassinate, a lot of rep. No, we need amp. Embedded firmware, focus crystals, rep. Imp, here we go. Oh, and it's even a non-wing mission. Delta Fire Dragon, a deadly plague is something any power would want to prevent from becoming a galactic epidemic. That's true, but... I mean, even when the Cerberus plague hit, they didn't do this. But yeah, the big deal, Alicors, was that on the latest system update, or for stations, Talos 1 and Talos 2, the two observation platforms orbiting this planet, were both suffering from UA bombing. Now, I don't know if that was players, or NPCs, or what. Gear up.
Gear coming up.
But it was being UA bombed, and that was having a... You know, if those stations went dark, there'd be no observation or weapons platforms to, you know, keep people away. And if the Thargoids decided they wanted to dip one of their ships down into that soup, and then go, I don't know, go on a little quick tour of the Sol system, you know, maybe go visit Alioth? Who knows? Well, you can't really... You know, unless they want to hold on to it as a last resort bioweapon, best plan would be to light the whole moon on fire or something. As much as science fiction loves this trope, it is actually very, very hard to glass a planet. I don't know that we have the technology to do it in Elite. I mean, not down to the levels needed. And then all you've managed to do, maybe, is spread it around or make it harder to observe. That's also possible, Gret. There may be, you know, the Plague story may be a cover. According to the lore, according to the lore, that system was also home to Thargoid-built stations that were built with human accommodation in mind. So it may have been some kind of halfway point, some meeting point, like that station in the Battlestar Galactica relaunch. Or I forget the name of the station, but it was like Armistice Station or something. Well, for 40 years we waited. They never came. Everybody is really, really nervous. Everybody's really... Orion, but why? But why what? Why the, interact with the comms array data link at Senkard Bastion. I'm gonna need an SRV for this, aren't I? Didn't the Alliance initially have a treaty with the Thargoids? Yes. Though it may have been... I don't know. The Alliance had a Thargoid ship. We know that much. That's how the frameshift drive was, developed. Why did the stations have human accommodation? We don't know. No idea. Quick question. Do I need to pick up an SRV at a station, or can I actually scan the comms beacon from my ship? I'm betting I need the SRV, but hey, why not ask? System map.
System map.
Alright, they've got outfitting at Bailey. But no, there's, I'm not sure why they had human... Turlock, because the Thargoids are actually very friendly. All that murder, just a damn misunderstanding, I'm sure of it. Oh, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, I might have been on your side on that, Turlock. But looking at the Guardian data, it's looking less and less likely of that. Excuse me, my mask is slipping off my face thorax. Ah, I see, yes. Booskor, I'd put a tenner on the needing an SRV. It'd be easy otherwise. Right, we'll head to Bailey and see if they have any for sale. Evergreen Rogue, was the terraforming accident recent? I don't believe so.
Welcome to the stream.
I don't believe it's a, I don't believe it's any kind of concentration camp either. Onikaji, thank you so much for the Tier 2 subscription. I have really got to get on the horse about getting some emotes now. You have just been my proper motivation for getting that. I am so sorry for not. Twitch has been rejecting my emotes. Apparently I've been making them raw. That's why I've contacted Commander Ojin, the creator of the Space Cow, to help me out on this. Orion, yeah, Thargoids do seem highly territorial even if they seem to take everyone else's territory. Really, the closest thing I can think of are the aliens from Independence Day, or not the Zerg, Tyranids. Yeah, Little Moo, the spaceship cow. Gotta come up with a name for that guy. But Onikaji, thank you so much for that subscription. Ants is what I keep going back to. That's also possible. If you've ever read a old military sci-fi novel by the name of Armor, by an author named John Stakely, the Armor seems to remind me, it reminds me of the Ant War a bit. I was thinking locusts because it's mentioned that the Thargoids, they like to come into systems afterwards and strip mine the system, take away all the resources. Well, Narvard is pretty damn rich in resources, as is the, entire surrounding area. And we are only 10 light years away from an ammonia world. Gear down?
Gear down.
Armor, the novel that taught me the concept of negative reinforcement. Yes, he's going to get killed by one of these millions of enemies, but it's not going to be that one. And it's not going to be that one. And it's not going to be the next 10 that come at him, because they piss him off too much. So it's like Zeno's arrow of being killed. He only gets halfway there each time. Interdictor, advanced discovery scanner, but, right. I haven't used the limpet too much, so we'll use the planetary vehicle hangar. There we go. Now we got a proper little vehicle to go have a look. And Master 10 reminds me of the Formix from Ender's Game. I think I said that, yeah. Gear up?
Gear up.
Tirlock, a story I saw online of this guy describing an ant swarm that just went like a wave over the farm he was at, eating everything not protected by pesticides. Yeah. Hardcore, in what universe is the Scarab proper? To be fair, it is not a bad little ground vehicle. It just bounces around a lot. But, I mean, come on. The thing can jump. The thing can practically fly. It can boost its own mass in multi-G environments. And then some. It's far from the worst ground vehicle I've ever seen. I mean, come on, we could have a Mako on board. Do you want a Mako? Does anybody want a Mako? Evergreen Rogue, army ants, the same way in South America, or so says nature documentaries. Yeah. The funny thing, I was thinking, okay, do I bring up the example of a nature documentary, or do I bring up the MacGyver episode? Either way. Okay, fine, you people all want a Mako. The thing was a pain in the ass to drive, and you all know it. And it could go up a cliff. Have you seen some of the stuff we can drive those things up? Have you seen some of the stuff we can drive these things up? At least it didn't constantly spin out. You know what? If we had a third-person driving view of this thing, I might be a little happy. But obviously that's a little breaking of the immersion. Fine, fine, fine. All you people love the Mako. I don't stand corrected, but I do stand outnumbered. Don't look at me, I'm on your side. Thank you, Gret. I know you've always got my back. It drove similar to the Warthog in the Halo universe. Unfortunately, I have to take your word for that. I never had an original Xbox, and I never played much in the way of... Even when I had a 360, well, have a 360, I never quite did much in the way of console gaming. Gear down?
Gear down and slowing.
You know, if the Mako handled like the Nomad from Andromeda, why don't we just get a Nomad? Oh, okay. I thought the Nomad handled well. I am apparently wrong on that count. Oh.
Low gravity warning.
Okay, so now I'm hearing the Nomad actually went where you pointed it, and then I'm hearing the Nomad was a POS. Come on, people. Get it straight. Alright, System Authority Vulture and a Viper 4 jumping out. Good. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that, am I? Okay, well I can target it from here. Private. Lovely. Oh, I'm gonna get my ship shot to hell and gone, aren't I? Especially with 2 patrol ships orbiting up above. Marino Twine, nice to see a planet with a flat surface after visiting Guardian sites today. Yeah, it's a little bit of pain, ain't it? Maybe I should have parked the ship closer. This is gonna be a hell of a run. Well, then again, there are a lot of anti-ship weapons here, so maybe I don't want to get close. Oh, oh, we're getting scans. Alright, let's get ready to run like hell.
Incoming mission critical message.
we go. Set 2-1.
Diverting power to engines.
Ow.
Under attack.
Alex, where's my ship? It looks like I'm in a peck of trouble. Isn't it funny how those ships can target SRVs? With a plasma cannon. Well, it served its purpose. Yeah, isn't it funny how those ships can target SRVs just fine? Working as intended. Okay, so, kill order. They'll be in the Sangojan system. Well, that's where we're at. So now we just gotta apparently find our target. Astley Kittlesrud. Would a second player be able to either pilot the ship while you're on the ground or another ship above? They'd have to pilot another ship above. You can't... Because, of course, you can't have somebody else driving the SRV. That would make too much sense. I'm sorry, there's perhaps a little bit of salt here. Yeah, somebody could fly in their own ship and try to distract or take out the targets from above, but this isn't listed as a wing assassination mission. In theory, this ought to be able to be done solo. You know, because that's what having 3 heavily armed ships come after you, being able to target your SRV. I had, what, a Vulture, a Viper 4, and, you know, the entire output of the station's power generator aimed at me. Oh, well. I was remote piloting the SRV anyway. I know there's another streamer, Admiral Baru, when he was playing Subnautica, he named his salt storage locker. He named his salt storage locker Dead by Daylight. Yeah, then add dense turrets and skimmers, and you have yourself the new version of Skimmer. Skimmer missions. Whee! Yeah, my SRV, it's got a spot out front. It is a spot out front. So now, since I have no idea whether or not this discovery scanner is actually working, I'm going to have to stop by the local star anyway, just to get a scan off the nav beacon, just in case. Three-quarter impulse. Three-quarter impulse.
Three-quarter impulse.
Thank you. A combat-oriented ground vehicle would be nice. It's true. The RPG mentions tanks. You know, deploy one tank from a Class 4 cargo bay, basically. Is it fast? No. It's a tank. I mean, well, I guess it'd be fast by tank standards. Wing assassinations are faster.
Scan detected.
Yeah, 16 tons. Okay, so it's a light tank. A Tachikoma or a Fuchikoma would be awesome. I agree. That'd be all kinds of wonderful. $1955 to $21.25. Am I just... As long as the Tachikoma don't talk? Hey, the Tachikoma talking was one of the best parts. Those guys are adorable. I mean, come on, it's like having a best friend and a puppy who's a tank. Who doesn't want a puppy tank? But what kind of impermeable metal is your heart made of? Or what kind of shriveled Kingsford-type charcoal briquette has your heart become? I can only take so much deep philosophical talk and cute voices. You see, now I'm going to put an Ewok voice filter in here and start reading from Descartes. Terminus, howdy, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying your Friday. That's Maddie D. Wanted. Orion, mine's made of unobtainium. Aha. Turlock, I worked retail for over 10 years. My soul is a shriveled mass of hate for mankind. Ah. Yes, I too have worked retail. Omar, Google me. Gonna have to Google the obituaries in a minute. I mean, come on, we may as well do some light bounty hunting while we're here. Tierlock, I did not see Flicker initially. Yeah, I was a little... Come on. Yeah, Omar, Google me. Okay. Balance.
Returning systems to normal.
Hull integrity compromised.
Hey, Omar.
Scan detected. Under attack.
Nope.
Target shield is offline.
Phenomenal.
Target destroyed. Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo
Terminus. Frustrated. Spend over an hour reading about power play. Plenty of pages without easy step-by-step explanation. Finally asked on some stream they directed me to the right panel. Screw something up bad and can't join the power back. I think you can join it back in like a day. I think it's 24 hours. But yeah, power play is frustrating on so many levels, up to and including the UI. It's really rather remarkable. It's like, congratulations, you have made something. You have achieved new heights of infuriating. If this terrorist is flying around in a dolphin, no. Yet. Really? I've got a wanted novice in a dolphin? For nearly 10 grand? The hell did you do? How do you even? How do you even? Best quick save just in case. Yeah, we'll put a pin in that plan.
hull integrity compromised.
As if I don't have enough to worry about with the law. Oh, I'm not the law right now. I'm just really disappointed.
Target destroyed. Cargo scoop deployed.
Well, I got some conductive ceramics out of it.
Cargo scoop retracted.
No, man, he's in a deadly dull... I can't even finish that sarcastic comment. Yeah, I know, Turlock. That was just sad. Yep, he lived as he died, being a resource for somebody else. Now, usually, that would actually cost the Errantry Alliance here in Sanguogen. However, since I'm turning in the bounty on him at a station we own, I believe it actually makes us some more influence than we lost. Dolphins are very fast if you build them right. It's true. So's my chieftain. That would make you an influencer? Yes, iMage, it would. And also, iMage, was it you? Somebody asked me yesterday, before the stream got cut off, whether I thought that something big was going to happen here or later on. And I said something would probably happen around E3. Now, at the time, I had no idea, zero clue about the message. I had no idea about that comms beacon message from that listening post. So I stand corrected on whoever asked me, and I said, no, they aren't going to pull anything major at PAX East. They're going to wait. They're going to wait for E3. Yes, and Dewey defeats Truman. And Topes win. And yes. Yes, iMage, there was a listening post. Turlock, as far as I know, Frontier is at PAX East. I don't know the extent of their presence there, but I'm pretty sure they are. Alright, thank you, Gret. Yes, iMage, there was a message put out at a listening post, one that had been dormant for ever. Verid, back. Did I miss anything? The saddest dolphin ever. But no, iMage, the message it put out was historically significant in that it's the same set of messages put out 2 weeks prior to, and 2 days prior to, the launch of Operation Overlord. Gear down?
Lowering gear.
Ryan, do you think Narvard might be hit? It's a distinct possibility. If it means a Thargoid harvester fleet rolling through, I think Narvard is a very attractive target. So are we at 2 weeks or 2 days? I think we're at 2 days. That's what the message... I mean, it played the 2-day message. And if you look at the Elite Beyond trailer, it's something like 13 seconds. If you freeze frame and you look at the YouTube video, and I want to say it's at 13 seconds, you see a Galnet News news article, and it says something like Thargoid presence in systems. 2 days would put us at, well, it happened yesterday, Onikaji. So 2 days would put us on Saturday, because it happened on Thursday. Master 10, if Glidden gets hit while I'm offline, is my ship toast? Not that I know of. I've seen other stations have been hit, and other players have asked the same thing, and they can always recall their ship. Booskor, do we have a plan if Thargoids come knocking on the door? Throw every able body at them. If you're equipped for anti-Thargoid equipment and you have AX weaponry, go for the big ships. If you don't, go for the little ships. Cubic McDowell ring. 135,000 light seconds. Son of a... iMage, yes, you saw that, Galnet. It was during the beta. Massive Thargoid presence inhibiting planetary production. Yes, and there was like Thargoid presence levels listed by system. I think that's what's coming down the way. Gimbal the Wizard. Huh. Alright, we're gonna hold on to this one. We still need influence here, so I may have to just take a long-distance trip here. Booskor, righto, go shopping for AX pointy things. iMage, so you don't stop the little ones, big ones show up. Don't stop the big ones, massive ones show up? That is what I'm afraid the pattern might be. There's the little Marauder Scouts. Gear up. Gear up.
Landing module retracted.
And then there's the big ships, the Cyclops, the Basilisk, the Medusa. And then after that, who knows? Could be hive ships. Turlock, Heaviside Station, yeah, Wongarateri. Wongarateri. It should be on the nav panel from Narford. So now what? I'm just patrolling the system until this person shows up? Where's a Farragut battlecruiser when you need one? We kind of broke those. Yeah, we kind of dinged up a few of those. I don't think Hudson's going to be too terribly eager to send us some more support. That's alright. We can live without him. Still waiting for the Leviathan-class Thargoid ship? Yeah. And they're super useless against Thargoid interceptors. True, although the two new megaships apparently are going to be much more efficient. They are loaded up with AX weaponry, and apparently they know how to shield megaships. Which are apparently in a class that, you know... I'm not sure how they're able to shield them, but they supposedly are. iMage, just read up on it. The reference meant the Resistance should cut lines of production in 2 days, 2 weeks before the invasion. Incorrect. The message was basically 2 lines, and they were broadcast at different times. The first half was broadcast 2 weeks, it was broadcast as a, you know, get ready. The invasion should happen within 2 weeks. And then, a little bit later, you know, a few days later, whatever, the 48-hour message was broadcast. And that said, start doing sabotage, we are invading within 48 hours. Now, on that note, you know, let's look at Galnet. We've certainly got time. Starport status update. They're all the places that have been hit and need help. Okay, this number has come down significantly. Thargoid sensor-related interference has been reported in the following systems: Bo Orbital, Corte Real, and Harvey Ring. A few weeks ago... Well, no, sorry, not a few weeks ago. the other day. Yeah, this starport status update from the 5th. Following starports are closed. Sorry, the following starports are on the brink of closure. And this was showing, you know, Talos 1 and Talos 2 in Peregrina. Evergreen Rogue, the target was rail lines, supply lines, or the method with which to transport them. Yes, railroads, bridges if you could pull it off, telegraph, phone lines, etc. Telegram and telegraph, pretty much the same thing. Onikaji, aren't the megaships already deployed? I remember a Galnet article from last weekish saying one was deployed in Aranon. Yes. There are some anti-Thargoid megaships. 2 of them, as far as I know. They've already been deployed. I don't know where they've been deployed. I just saw the article saying they had been. But yeah, disrupt communications, disrupt transport. If they cut communication, shouldn't those Eagle Eye stations be targets? It's entirely possible. Now, again, there is a big if. There is a big if through all of this. And that big if is... if this is Thargoids telling people, you know, telling their allies to disrupt us. Because long story short, we don't know who sent this, and we don't know who it's aimed at. That's another big problem. We don't know where it's from, we don't know where it's to. But whoever it is has a sense of history, and whoever it's sending has a sense of human history. Evergreen Rogue, what do the humans possess that are equivalent to those targets? Our starports, basically. Shipyards, starports. If you can cut off the methods of getting resources out. The ACS Overwatch was deployed. Alright. Oh, started, my bad. They've started construction on it. ACS, what? Aegis Command Ship? Something like that, probably. iMage, today's article on Thargoid Genesis. Let's go have a look at that. We got time. Okay, Professor Cora Shaw, director of the Palin Institute, has published a paper speculating on the origin of the Thargoids. Extracts from her paper are reprinted below. Considering the Thargoids' impact on our civilization, it's disturbing that we still know so little about them. Information from Guardian sites has shed some light on the Thargoids' ancient history, but it's clear they were an established spacefaring species long before they encountered the Guardians. So where did they come from? We know the Thargoids are insectoid in nature with an affinity for ammonia-based worlds. This suggests they may have evolved in harsh, low-temperature environments, which might explain their overdeveloped survival instincts and aggressive nature. We also know the Thargoids are experts in bioengineering, so they may have augmented their own biology to a point where natural evolutionary processes are meaningless. Since much of the Milky Way remains uncharted, the Thargoid homeworld might be just beyond known space, or on the other side of the galaxy, if it exists at all. It's possible they are now a nomadic species, existing entirely in space or within fabricated hives of some kind. I'm worried about that part, hive ships. It may even be that they have journeyed across millions of light years from Andromeda or beyond, like a swarm of locusts seeking fresh crops. Now that makes me think of the Tyranids. Other theories are more esoteric but worthy of exploration. We know their vessels are capable of hovering in hyperspace, suggesting which space is comfortable for them. Could living beings actually originate from hyperspace? Alternatively, they may be using hyperspace as a conduit from a dimensional plane entirely separate from real space. The Thargoids may not just be extragalactic in origin, but extra-universal. Oh, that's just what we need. Extra-dimensional enemies to go fighting. But yeah, long story short, the plan if they do hit Narvert, if you have combat experience, or you know how to... if you know how to fight small, fast ships, go for the Marauders. They are weak, well, they are vulnerable to conventional weaponry. If you know how to fight the bigger ships, fight those. AX weaponry, AX multi-cannons, AX missile launchers, Guardian equipment if you have it. Species 8472. Yeah, if we find fluidic space, I'm activating the Noble Drive. But yes, if you have Guardian weaponry, and that's what I've loaded up the Tuatha De Danann with. Dana is loaded up with quad Guardian Gauss cannons, a frag cannon, the flak cannon, I should say. And then here's the genius. This was built by the same guy who I conspired with on building the Taurus. He put in dual efficient beam laser turrets with thermal vent. And I didn't think of that for a moment. I thought, okay, what's that for? Those are heat sinks. Those aren't lasers. Those aren't meant to damage the Thargoids. Those are just heat sinks. That's brilliant. Verid, it could also be a human group using the Thargoids to eliminate their foes. I don't know that you could steer the Thargoids like that. Now, it could also mean, get ready, the second Thargoid wave is approaching, or the Calaxians instead of the Arisians. Aresrians? I think it's Aresrians. So far, we've only had encounters with one of the Thargoid dynasties. Now there's two out there. There is another species of Thargoid. Orion, wait, what? Wait, what? Let's see here. Aresrians. Ah. Okay, first iMage. In response to the D-Day message, Canon RPG has sent out a red alert message for imminent event. Yeah, I figured. Orion, Aresrians. Yes, there are two dynasties, quote-unquote, of Thargoid. The Calaxians and the Aresrians. I forget which dynasty this is, but basically there was a Thargoid war. One side wants to wipe out the other. And so, one side approached the bubble, and they want to use us as ablative meat armor. And Orion, yes, the lasers are heat sinks. Small, efficient beam laser turrets running thermal vent. So, I fire off the quad Gauss cannons, get my heat up, and then those beam lasers shoot that great big pissed off ceiling fan in the sky. Thargoid ships don't have chaff. Thargoid ships don't have ECM. Those lasers just send all my heat out and over to him. Or her, or it, or whatever the hell that great big IKEA monstrosity is. Yeah, the lasers aren't there to do damage. The lasers are there to vent heat. It's a great big target. I mean, even small beam turrets should be able to hit. Random synchronicity, Onion Head is back on the market. Turlock, Aresrians lost or are losing. The theory is they're moving through our space to distract the Calaxians with us as they flee. Yes. Black Omega, I thought NPCs don't take heat damage. I don't believe they do, but I'm not using it to inflict heat on them. I'm using it to remove heat from me. Let's see here. Sir HC978, how did the preparations for D-Day go last night? I came across you while you were running errands. Commander Albino Alligator. Oh, hello, Commander. Preparations are as good as we can get right now. I've got my ship all configured for handling the big ships. And I've got plenty of little ships around to handle, you know, if there's just Thargoid marauders running around. Gear down?
Gear down.
I was just covering some of the ship build there. But yeah, if I'm overheating by firing off those quad Gauss cannons, then the beam laser turrets ought to blow off all that extra heat and help me shed it that much faster. Well, Orion, have you seen what the thermal vent does on lasers? It's not exactly throwing hot lead. Well, kinda sorta is. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Great, you've built your ASP for repairs. You'll be the wing medic. Sounds good. Worst comes to worst, I can always equip Gunsight 1 for something. But no, the build is you want to stack up the most amount of hull and the most amount of shields, and don't worry a thing. Do not worry at all about resistance. Just straight up megajoules and hull damage. Or hull points. Gear up.
Landing gear up.
So I've got something like 3,500 megajoule shields, which should hold a little bit. Orion, yeah, it's cooling you off while you throw hot lead, exactly. Hardcore, what about meta-alloy armor? I don't have the resources for it. Instead, if I just start overheating, I'll just cook my ship a little bit. I've got the thermal vents to help that, so... Boost Core, Type 10s are legitimate Thargoid killers. They're tough. You load them up with enough hull, and yeah, they can put hurt on a Thargoid. I've taken out Cyclopses before using a Type 10 and quad large turreted AX multi-cannons. Yeah, hardcore. The whole reason the Type 10 exists, mount 4 Class 3 AX weapons. It'll get the job done. Let's see here, sir. Are the AX weapons absolutely necessary for fighting Thargoids? Yes. If you want to fight the Interceptors, the big ceiling fan type ships, you need them. If you're going to fight the smaller ships, the little, you know, the Marauder type ships, the Octagons, you can use conventional weaponry. Those will work. You can knock out the smaller scout ships with conventional weaponry. But the big ships, Cyclops, Basilisk, Medusa, absolutely require AX or Guardian weaponry. So I should have a target around here somewhere, I hope. Ain't you. Doubt it's going to be this hauler. Asley Kittlesrud. Right. Well, one of these things is not like the other. Still not what I need, though. Huh, I wonder if it's another wanted dolphin. Guess we'll never know. You know, I'm starting to think that maybe I'd just be better off running more missions than just try and do this one mission. It's... I'm getting bad vibes off of this. Like, there's just something not going right. I mean, I've got zero... Yeah, time versus effort, exactly, iMage. Plus, I'm getting zero indicator of where this person is, just that they are in this system at this time point. Really? That's all you got? They're going to be in a place at a time and they don't give any other... And that's on top of the whole mess of me trying to get the data. Nice going, Nostra, dumbass. So we will set back down at right plant. Master 10, no info from the nav beacon either. I had to scan a beacon on a planetary surface. I had to go and pick up an SRV. And of course, I got targeted by 3 ships that could see my SRV just fine. Oh no, this was a different kind of assassination. I had to scan a ground base instead of the nav beacon. Well, I scanned the ground base, and all they said was, "It's around here somewhere." That's it? That's all you got? Huh. Handy little chase going on behind me. 3/4 impulse.
Acknowledged. 3/4 impulse now.
Right, we'll pick up a good one here. The Didicco is in boom. We are... Yeah, we're gonna... I get the feeling we are going to... Master 10, how's the 3/4 thrust rule working? So far, it's worked alright. I'm wondering if actually, I mean, we are... They've got a 5% advantage. We aren't at war. Maybe we don't even worry about the Theditic system. We got bigger fish to fry. We've got Sanguojin. If we keep Sanguojin, we can expand into a Densu. Need to talk to Mr. Tank about that. He's the Prime Minister of Space. He knows these things. Yeah, Master 10, just keep a presence in Theditic. I mean, the Theditic Co. isn't going to go to war for control. Gear down? At least, not right now. Now, at some point in the future, you know, we come back on top and we go and leapfrog them, and we end up... You know, and then we end up coming back on top here, but... hardcore, personally, I'm okay losing Wang. I prefer we keep the Didac. Sanguogen is vital for us to keep in order to expand into a Densu. Yeah, as long as we don't get kicked out of system, we can always come back. I mean, we know we can hit this system pretty hard when we have to. Are we in danger of running into any other wars in the air? Values party of Kowa Hing. We are 7% ahead of them. We're in a bit of a pending state. Boom. Okay. So we got kind of a tightrope to walk here in Thedidic at the moment. Now we got a boom coming. That'll help. But you see, every time we go to war, none of the systems that we're in can actually build up influence. So we just, you know, we go to war in one system and we drip, drip, drip away our influence and our control in the other systems. That's so that people just can't go super expansion, you know, like crazy. Reputation. That's skimmers, hell no. Well, there's a decent amount of inf. Considered illegal in the target destination. It would be doing something illegal in Narvert, but I've been hired for Narvert. Nope. I hate that these missions don't just go away either. Well, maybe they do in 30 days, I don't know. Well, reputation, influence, cash. Let's go pay a trip to, pay a visit to 5881. Then go pay a, oh, what's the word? To this terrorist guy. Gear up.
Landing gear retracted.
Beating. Gotta go pay him a beating. Master 10, did you get paid for that wing mission I died on? No, I didn't. That's alright. I'm gonna get paid on this one, so... Gret, 150 light-year passenger mission for 18 mil, that's pretty good. Yes, it is. Black Omega, always love it when Mu goes from chill to trash-talking enemies. So you're saying I should be a little bit more chill. 3/4 impulse?
3/4 impulse.
Bartons, how you doing today, Commander? Doing alright. Wasted a little bit of time here on one assassination mission, so... gonna go do one that's a little bit more likely to be completed on time. We've completed well, I've completed my preparations for the ship, for any kind of Thargoid invasion coming in the next day. I've got plenty of ships available and hardware available in case there's something non-Thargoid related. So I'm pretty well prepped.
Incoming mission critical message.
Vincente San Pedro. Fire groups.
Fire groups.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Commander.
There. Because the railgun is set up for anti-shield work. Verid, can you engineer the AX weapons at all? You can't engineer the AX weapons or the Guardian weapons. Bartons ran into a Medusa variant the other day. I ran away scared. You ran away smart. They look pretty mean up close? Oh, they look pretty mean, period. It's not like the other Thargoid ships are any nicer, but yeah, the Medusa is... The Medusa exists in its own class of angry. So no, just a minor reshuffling here of the weapons. Because I use the railguns more when everybody and their mother fires off shield cell banks. Then... Gret, that might have to do with the 100 Thargons it carries. It also has to do with the great big spiky appearance versus the normal spiky appearance. But yeah, since everybody and their mother fires off shield cell banks, this makes more sense to have the railgun tied into the primary fire group. Or the first one, and then the plasma cannon can work on the second one. Oh, and don't forget the red glow. The red glow of Doom is a nice touch. It really is. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi to the storm of Merida you've just gotten yourself into. Pardon my French. A very decent pronunciation? Well, that's good to know. French is causing quite a bit of headache lately. Might want to steer clear. Point taken, Master 10. Alright, I think it's really dumb how interceptors can pump out infinite Thargons one after another and we can't stop them. Well, the Thargons, they're just, as far as I know, much angrier limpets. Goobertech, just found your channel, finished up my FDL shield tank build, looking for a good whole tank chieftain. How do you like yours? Do you have a link to your build? Let's see here, 1 second. Bartons, give me a second here, let me give you a permit. There you go, give that another shot. Goobertech, well, you just caught me here about to go on a wing assassination mission solo with this chieftain. So,
Mission objective detected.
yeah, you can tell me. Shields. How do I like it, though? You'll have a look.
Awaiting orders.
Ah, damn it, it's a cutter. target power plant.
Scanning now.
Picking up a distress signal.
Warning. Targeting overload attack. Automatic weapons scrambled.
No, you do not fire off those shield cell banks. You lose your shields and you like it. Set 1-3.
Reinforcing shields.
Under attack. Taking damage.
Split 2-3.
Warning. Hull attack. Taking internal damage. Canopy integrity at 50%.
Set 2-1.
Power diverted to engines.
That went a little bit longer than should have because I didn't notice I'd actually run out of weapon capacitor on that one. On the other hand, if it's stupid and it works and you can do it repeatedly, maybe it's not as stupid as you think. Was that your own distress beacon blasting off so hard it echoed back through space and time? No, there was actually a ship in there. Part of a convoy being attacked. Goober Tech, you're flying a sawed-off shotgun of a ship and I love it. Well, thank you so much for the compliment. I do have a link to the build on this thing. I just have to... Actually, I need to go back through. I think I, Oh, did I put that up on Monday's stream where I was talking about this? Bartons, looks like your window's cracked. Gonna have to ticket you. Yeah, what are you gonna do about it, officer? I just saw it... And all those wing ships were engineered. So I just sawed an engineer cutter in half. But no, long story short, I am running all railguns except for a Class 2 plasma cannon and a Class 1... Sorry, did I say railguns? I meant frags. A Class 2 plasma cannon and a Class 1 railgun running feedback cascade. I'll throw a ticket at you and warp away unless you interdict me. But yeah, all frag cannons. The Class 3s are actually pacifiers. I've got them engineered to a variety of degree. They're all the frag cannons are grade 5 double shot. One of them runs drag rounds, one of them runs corrosive. The two small ones run drag and corrosive. The two big ones run dazzle and screening for a faster reload. The plasma cannon runs target lock breaker. And the railgun is just, yeah, like I said, that's feedback cascade. Works really well. Armor on this thing is reactive with heavy duty and deep plating. And then I'm running 2 heavy duty deep plating on the Class 4 hull reinforcement. And I've got 2 Class 4 hull reinforcement and 1 Class 4 module reinforcement. And my power capacitor is charge enhanced with super conduits for more charging. I think it's super conduits that does that. Witcher, testing out the Twitch app? Well, looks like it's working, unless you didn't want to talk to us. Alright, working pretty nicely. Excellent. Lake on Kilo Yankee Lima, request docking clearance.
Affirmative.
Ah, Wednesday's stream. Okay. That had the detailed info. Good, in that case I can highlight that later and throw that into, you know, its own individual file on YouTube. Gear down.
Deploying landing gear.
Hey Silas, got a head for you.
Welcome to the stream.
Martins, thank you so much for that tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Plank Owners, hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much for that. That's greatly appreciated. Okay, so yeah, I got grade 5, or a lot of reputation, or 3.5 mil. Modified embedded firmware? Yes, please. Witcher, if I ever have money, I shall buy Twitch, Steam, and Twitter and combine them as one. You could call it Twister. Or Steamer. Maybe don't call it Steamer. Silas, another one? God, just put it in with the rest of the pile. What am I thinking? Handsome Jack, when he was talking about sirens and the Borderlands playthrough. Only 6 sirens. Only 6 sirens can exist in the universe at any one time. You aren't going to convince me. You aren't going to convince me you killed one just because you killed a woman and drew random tattoos on her with a marker. Though I'll admit it was kind of funny the first few times. Now my place just smells like blood and marker fumes, so knock it off. Too hard to control on Xbox, Jolly Goodbeard. I thought Xbox did have a HOTAS. It's like the T-Flight 4, I believe.
More killing! More violence!
Thank you so much for that, Gret. Are you dissing marker fumes? No, I'm dissing murder. Assassination is different.
Oh, snap! The monster I sent you to kill is actually a monster truck! Tons, motherfucker!
Thank you so much for that. It's paid murder? No, it's terrorists. This is law enforcement. Gear up.
Gear coming up.
Goobertech, why use a knife when you can grab a sledgehammer? I like your style. I might have to give that a shot. It really does work well, and I'm sorry I didn't catch that earlier. The pacifier frag cannons. Believe me, that was the only reason you get me to work for Zachary Hudson. The pacifier frag cannons have a much faster shot speed and a much tighter grouping. It's like a shotgun with a full choke on it. It's a much tighter group on that cloud of pellets, and so, well, it's actually lower damage. or lowered DPS, but you saw what it did to that, that cutter. It wasn't too bad. And this was me being shot at by 6 ships, all engineered. I only lost a quarter of my hull. This thing is also a shield tank. Let me pull up the numbers on that once we get in system. Witcher, I feel like STG sounds too much like STDs. You could call it the Stig. Some say. Three-quarter impulse.
Acknowledged.
Status.
Three-quarter impulse now. Status.
So here are my shield stats. 496 on the shield health. Here's my resistances. Good against thermal and explosive. Armor health is 2500. And I'm just running a lot of kinetic and explosive resists. Merwaz, I've come to my senses and got back to the Anaconda from the cutter Princes on Ice. That's too bad. Master 10, I have the most beautiful wife in the entire world. Be jealous, y'all. I will fight you, man. I got a Niao, and a Niao is awesome. Witcher, I shall challenge that with my badass punk-loving girlfriend. You know what? I'll challenge you both with the fact that my wife has a similar cockpit setup to mine, sitting 3 feet off my right arm. Find me a parking spot.
Requesting.
More killing, more violence? Yes. Is it possible to outfit a chieftain for anti-Thargoid shenanigans? I think it can? Gear down?
Gear down.
The problem is, you want, 4 guns, either medium or large. And a chieftain can only carry 3. 3 medium in total. 2 large, 1 medium, and 3 small. So, I guess, in my opinion, a better anti-Thargoid ship for the AX weapon, or at least the medium-sized stuff, or the Guardian stuff, is a Fer-de-Lance. Oh yeah, Bartons, let me pull up the, yeah, Fer-de-Lance boost score. Yeah, let me pull up a picture here quick. Here's the home setup we have. Her computer's on the right. We're trying to build a Python. Don't tell the neighbors. In fact, it'd probably piss the neighbors off if they found out. Especially right around the time we got the rest of the cockpit built, the nose section. Then again, by that time we'd have a Class 3 hardpoint, so what are they gonna do? Yep, the 40K, the framed 40K stuff. Out of frame, I've got a couple of very nice Transformers pictures up, and behind me was the wall of collectibles. Also a bunch of Mobile Suit models that Niao's made. Oh no, Gret. Yuki is the white kitten. Hank is the stealthy one. Alright, alright. Let's see. Hi, no. Hostage rescue. This thing is not very good at hostage rescue. That was the joke, you Philistine. I'm sorry, I am occasionally a literal-minded person. Witcher, I've been thinking about making a trip to the US and driving across the country. Mind if I visit? Hell, why not? Come on by. Let me know. Gear up.
Gear up.
Vera, do you have your chieftain set up for anti-Xeno? It's the only combat ship you got? Well, Chief is a good AX ship. I mean, it's just not, it can't carry everything. Witcher, starting from New York and probably ending it in Colorado. I got bad news for you then. Because we're in Washington. Unless you're going to go out to the West Coast and then go 1,000 miles back inland to Colorado.
Incoming mission critical message.
What do we have here? Comms panel. Internal report delivery time bonus. Oh. If you can deliver it in 4 hours, we'll give you an extra 140 grand. Oh boy, I don't know. 4 hours, that's a long time. Ah, Colorado will be the final stop? Alright, gotcha. Bartons, are you elite on combat, trading, and exploration? Yes, I am triple elite. I finally hit elite, the final elite on trading a couple months back. And then I'm like rank 2 on CQC, but, you know, it's CQC. At some point, I just need to feature some of the mobile suit models Nia's put together, because she is very good at that. She's got a lovely Kshatriya set up in the display case right now. Witcher, your dream is to drive through all the states someday? Hell, that's my dream someday. Gone through most. It's that big collection up in the East Coast that you kind of end up missing a few on. I know that sounds strange, but it's like, hey, we got to go from point A to point B. Well, you know, you just missed, like... You missed a pile of states off to the side, you know, like 30 miles off to the side. Get a DUI in each state for the complete experience. Well, like I said, I nearly... 3/4 impulse.
3/4 impulse.
I nearly lost my license doing 25 into 35. Orion, you talking about Niao reminds me of when I built a collection of Zoids from when I was a kid. Zoids were fun too. Horizon Zero Dawn, best Zoids game. Yeah, Orion, the problem is when we became adults, we realized yes, Master 10. I was doing 25 into 35. I was going 10 under. Now, mind you, the car was on its roof at the time, so that was a bit of an extenuating circumstance. Yeah, the problem was when we became adults, we actually didn't grow up all that much. Which it is a good thing, too, but, yeah, we realized, you know, there's a whole lot of stuff out there. We got money now. Well, no, not so much that we had money. We didn't have folks saying no. An important distinction there. Gear down.
Down and...
Money is a great enabler. Growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. Oh, truer words. Neurality07, glad to see the internet is fixed. Yeah, you and me both. Especially what with this whole mess brewing with the Thargoids, in theory. Finally, I can reload these guns. I don't know, 4 hours. I don't know if I can make it. But yeah, Master 10, I was doing 25 into 35, but the car was on its roof. In my defense, the car was only on its roof because the city hadn't actually cleared any snow. So it had all turned into ice, and then you had snow on top of that, and then you had another layer of ice on top of that. And, yeah. Assassinate terrorist leader. Reputation. Boy, sure a lot of people need killing these days. Well, business is booming and all that. Grit, this might be a dumb question. Can you switch ships while doing a passenger mission? No, you can't, I'm afraid. You can with cargo, you can't with passengers. Apparently they complain if you switch planes mid-trip. I don't know, just tell them there was something wrong with this one. Seems to happen every time I go flying. Gear up.
Retracting docking modules.
Ah, the stories I could tell about flying. When I was little, my folks had a friend who was a private pilot, and he'd take us up every once in a while. Does anybody off the top of their head know what the statute of limitations is on FAA rules violations? Just throwing that out there. Curiosity. No reason, just figured I'd ask. Let's see here. Grit. Since FAA violations are under administration law, there's not a formal SOL. However, in general constitutional terms, you might be able to get a dated violation thrown out based on the state complaint premise, but there's nothing to stop the FAA from violating you, except common sense. Alright. Well, as long as I don't name names then. So, yeah. Turns out when you got a guy who, almost as... Well, I learned a lot of flying technique from this guy. And when I suggested, you know, I took some time off from school one day. Played a little bit of hooky in order to hop along with him on a little sightseeing flight. And I'm like, you know what? There's the school. You want to buzz it? He's like, yeah? Oh, we were terrible influences on each other. So we may have violated some altitude restrictions. Or, you know, at least bent them a little bit. Yeah, buzzing, as in we went over the... See the stadium? Want to land in it? Sure. Yeah, buzzing as in we flew over at slightly around-ish treetop level. Which is not usually a thing that, you know, happens around, you know, in a little tiny town in North Iowa with a population of 1,500 if you count the chickens. Ah, city.
Lakon, Kilo Yankee Lima, you have entered Federation space. Docking access by permission only.
Lakon, Kilo Yankee Lima, request docking clearance.
Requesting docking permission.
Landing permission granted. You are clear for approach to pad 1-8.
Copy 1-8. Oh, if I'd known this place was here, I might have brought in something else to go flying with.
Terrain alert. Climb immediately.
Gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
Hardcore. My high school was next to a regional hospital. Sometimes the helipad got double booked. Choppers would land in the football field and they'd run the stretcher across campus to the hospital. Yeah, I've seen that happen before. Yeah. There were some very strange things that happened around my high school. Hot air balloon landing. Herd of buffalo. And if anybody tries to correct me and say bison, I shall hunt them to the brink of extinction. Ryan, I just noticed your co-pilot voice pack is different. When did that change? Oh, I've got all kinds of friends now. Who am I flying with today?
I'm here.
Ready to roll, Commander.
Astra isn't here today. Well, I've got Alex, Celeste, Astra, and Kix is back. So yeah, I've got a quartet. I'm gonna be adding in Vasco and probably Eli at some point. Yeah, Singularity. Well, if I'm gonna have somebody telling me in my ear that I'm, you know, flying too low, or that, you know, the ship is falling apart, or the cabin's depressurized, Believe me, I would rather have a lovely voice in my ear than John Delancey bitching it up. Orion, an Apache landed in our football field and we got to come out and look at it. Neat. I remember many, many moons ago, back when I was living in North Iowa, there was a, you know what? We're going to check it on a thing here. Gear up.
Gear coming up.
Ship restraints retracted.
There was a Blackbird that had to make a landing at Rochester Airport in Minnesota. And my dad piled us all in the car and said, we're going to go see the fastest plane ever. There we go. Hey, it fits. Neat. Galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Flight control signing off.
Cessna 152 Merwaz? No, this was a little bit faster than your standard Cessna. I feel kind of blessed for, for my aircraft spotting. I haven't been able to spot any in flight, but I've been lucky enough to visit, let's see here, I've seen an SR-71. That was on display at the the Museum of the Strategic Air Command, I believe. Out in Nebraska. And then I've seen a A-12. That was at the Intrepid Museum in New York. Yes, the variant of the Blackbird, well, variant, kind of semi-prototype, that they thought, hey, let's turn this thing into an interceptor. And then here in Seattle at the Museum of Flight, they've got a MD-21, the mothership and the drone. Budman, woohoo! Transcoding! Awesome. Merwaz, I was at an event playing sports and a Chinook landed on the football field outside. Look up YouTube. There was a football game in Texas. High school football game. And a B-1 overflew the stadium at full afterburner. Every car alarm for miles went off. Saw an MV-22 hiking at the Mach Loop last summer. While hiking at the Mach Loop last summer. Neat. Merwaz, B-1, that's a bomber. Yes it is. Swing wing, quad engine. It almost looks like just a scaled up fighter. Just about handles like one too. I think this would be a B-1B, because the original B-1A got cancelled. The B-1B is a little bit slower. Yeah, swing wing, blended wing design on it, so it just looks beautiful. Gear down.
Landing modules deployed.
Commander Verret, in the last 6 months I've had F-22s, F-35s, and Warthogs land in the airport next door to me. Huh. Interesting. Master 10, did you ever serve in the military? No, I didn't. I did not. My folks were pretty strict on that one. Dad wanted me on the farm, and Mom had 3 brothers serve. So yeah, I kept sending in applications to the academy, and Dad just kept saying 1 more season. Exactly, hardcore. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yeah, and then I found a couple of droids at some junk dealer, and, you know, the rest is history. Murwaz, like they took the Concorde and made a smaller bomber version of it. Not quite. Concorde didn't have swing wing on it. Yeah, until I got the letter from Hogwarts at 11. Wait a minute. I think we've gotten a little off the track here. Internal report delivery, Theditic. Well, it's some... Oh, it goes to Theditic Co. Well, screw that for a... How about no? Hank is clearly an owl in disguise. No, Hank is a bowling ball crossed with a Muppet. We don't know what Hank is, other than, you know, a pain in the butt. You need anything? No. All right, let's head back. Let's head back home to Narvert. I'm a little worried that we're going to see some non-human signal sources anyway. Master 10, yes, in a rolling queue.
Killing! More violence!
Gear up.
Gear coming up.
Budman, Valkyrie looked like the Concorde. I don't know. Valkyrie had canards, and it also had the drooping wing, the Wave Rider design. Also, the engine configuration was different. So to me, it looks totally different. I mean, also twin tail versus the Concorde's single tail. I could be weird, though. Valkyrie was amazing, though, and I really wish they'd kept going with that Wave Rider design. Also, one of my favorite conspiracy theories, which I think is, you know, totally off but would still be fun, is that there was a 3rd Valkyrie prototype completed, and they use it to launch X-20 space planes. Kind of like how White Knight and Spaceship One go. Let's see here. Orion. I remember my high school ROTC took us to an air gallery or museum in Ohio or West Virginia. Probably Ohio. I think we saw, I think, a booster for a rock, and it was just across from a Blackbird. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, the Strategic Air Command Museum, I want to say that's them. I could be wrong on that. I got me curious. But they have a, an Avro Vulcan. Now that was a very unique looking aircraft. Those Those were the aircraft that were in the Black Buck operations during the Falklands War. But yeah, you sit next to a Vulcan and you look up and it's enormous. I mean, most bombers are not actually small, but let's go around here and use the plan to slow us down. Also, regret, Shoji Kawamori, who did a lot of the design work, etc. on Macross, was such a fan of the XB-70 that he designed, well, one, he named the VF Valkyrie after it, and two, that he included some of the inner fittings of a Valkyrie in, like, VIP spacecraft for his Macross designs. And three, he did a lot of the mechanical designs for Cowboy Bebop. Murwaz just fought an elite Viper. That thing was tough. Oh, yeah. Vipers are tough little SOPs.
Request approved. Adjust heading for approach to pad 2-3.
Copy 2-3. Master 10, the airshow in Selfridge Air Base is an annual pleasure here in Michigan. Also, the Red Bull Air Races near Detroit, one of my favorite things. Oh, I would love to see the Red Bull Air Races, at least once. Gear down.
Gear down.
Speed restrictions, Commander. Slow down.
Cowboy Bebop is celebrating its 20th birthday this week. Damn, now I do feel old. Bartons, what do the triple pluses next to a planet city name mean? That means size of the installation. So if it's triple pluses and then high, it means it's a large city with high security level. Gret, I believe it's size rather than security level, because it'll say, yeah, it's size rather than security, because if we look over here, yeah, Armstrong Base has 2 pluses, and then it says medium security next to that. And Oakley Landing is low security, but a larger installation. Murwah's gotten pretty comfortable now with combat with keyboard and mouse, just need a ship capable enough. My Conda is okay now, but I still have work to do on it. These ships are like real-world boats. There's always more work to do on it. Always. Deliver 180 units of Bertrandite in the name of democracy to Babbage Colony. Hell no. Pai, Wang, Wongarateri. Wang? Let's go into Wang. Foreman Point. Deliver to the Air Entry Alliance. This is a double. This is a good mission. This is double up. Because it's being delivered from us to us. And then I can see what's going on in the Wang system. Pride fighters for the first time today outside CQC. Let's see here. Gret. They have another advantage, and that is their firepower. They hit hard. Gear up.
Gear up.
Bartons, thanks by the way. Oh, yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Murwaz picked an easy opponent, Keelback, but my Anaconda killed it as soon as I left the mothership. Well, yes, it's a Keelback. And apologies to man with an accent. He was asking me on the YouTube channel what I thought of the, that I'd missed the Keelback in my mining ship analysis. And the Keelback is a capable miner in the sense that it can mine things. That's true. But I wouldn't call it a great ship mining. Too many compromises. Get out of here. Time bonus. 3/4 impulse.
3/4 impulse.
Crew command roster. Crewman Astra.
Commander,
You're on science.
greetings.
That is all.
Loud and clear. What do you want to do today?
Same thing we do every day, Alex. Try and take over the world. Gret, I can feel your pain when you admit the Keelback can be decent. Oh no, I in no way admitted it can be decent. I merely said it can be used in that role. Much like a Volkswagen Beetle can be used to haul heavy industrial equipment. But just because it can, doesn't mean you should. Much like the idea that anything you can drop into a river and then get back out is amphibious. Budman, thank you for the 400 bits, emptying the bit bucket. Cheers. And cheers to you! Gear down.
Loading gear.
That's as much of a statement as saying the Keelback is a ship in Elite. Yes. Which car maker was it that did the campaign? It's a car. Because, yeah, that's kind of what I feel like with the Keelback. It's a ship. It has controls, it has engines, it has windows. It can move from point A to point B. Skoda? Possibly. I don't think they sell Skodas in the US, and I could have sworn that's where I saw the commercial at. Toyota. Alright. That sounds more like it, Brett. For the Yaris or something. Yes. Their little budget box. For a given value of budget. Inf. You give Inf, please. Planetary scans. High influence. 2.8 million. Requires an SRV. You know, I'm curious. I've got an SRV. Well, why not? Gret, the more I fly my cutter, the more I like it. It's become my daily flyer. No wonder you want us in Adensu. There's only one station in the sector you can actually land at. Gear up.
Landing module retracted.
No, I prefer a little bit of maneuverability. A little bit of shields. Carries a little bit of cargo. Carries a whole lot of beatdown. This is a good ship. There's Kaleri, yes, but... that's Kaleri. It's kind of like the episode of Megas XLR when they were looking for a slushie. That was the episode with Michael Dorn in it. But yeah. All I wanted was a slushie. It's always Hoboken. Yeah, but that's Hoboken.
Incoming mission critical message.
Alright, some of the equipment seems to be malfunctioning here, so let's go fix that.
Incoming mission critical message.
Wow, 2.8 million? And the planet is only a jump away and 30 light seconds? Okay, what is wrong with this picture? Because I have a feeling I'm gonna land here, and... hell if I know, the station's gonna be on fire, or it's covered in bees, or... you know... sending out angry bees that are on fire. Orion, yes. As the constantly evolving indestructible robot absorbs the slushy machine. Yep. Do not panic. We'll all die. The Regis Mark V. Bees with automatic weapons and bandanas. And Murwas, bananas. Yeah, let's go with that. Would this be similar to the lobster banditos from the Muppet Show? Ah, dang it. Coming in too hot. So throw in some S-turns to bleed off speed. So Orion, one of the interesting things I heard about Season 2 of Megas, if there had been one, it was going to be that it turns out Jamie and Coop actually created the Glorft. Because why the hell not at this point? I mean, I see it happening. Yeah, exactly. Gear down.
Gear down.
As if by magic, a building appears.
Property warning.
Master 10, I want to stay and watch the rest of the stream. My wife wants to go out to dinner. How much time should I tell her she needs to wait? You know what? I would just say go out to dinner and you can catch the rest. I mean, I'm going to be on for another half hour-ish. I would just say go out to dinner and you can always catch it again later.
Ship dismissed.
I mean, that's what the YouTube is for. Oh, this makes things slightly more difficult, because I was actually stuck under the ship. Set 1-2.
Transferring power to shields.
Hey guys, don't mind me. Take care, Master 10. Have a good evening. Just canisters of cryolite laying around, too.
Warning. You have entered a trespass zone.
Well,
Incoming message. Trespass zone cleared.
Incoming mission critical message. Bounty incurred. Under attack.
and now to reenact that scene from the second Pirates movie. Hardcore. Apparently my point defense fired off 836 rounds from the SRV, fighting off Guardian missiles. Point defense is a lot of fun, isn't it? So basically what I did was just mash the aggro button.
Incoming mission critical message.
Set 2-1.
Power to engines.
Ship recalled.
Alright, I think I lost him. Did we lose him? Well, I guess we lost him. I think you could have parked anywhere closer. You know, just crazy curiosity.
Down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was sarcastic, Alex. Humor to 75%. Aw. Set humor to 75%.
Self-destruct sequence in T-10, 9.
Let's go for 60%.
A dwarf walks under a bar.
You really want to do 50? HS. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. This is the Space Police. You are wanted. Yeah, well, the Space Police can come ticket me then. Gear up. I guess I should get off the surface before I do that. Gear up.
Gear coming up.
If I'm wanted, I don't see where. So actually, it was a anarchy or pirate faction that was apparently there. They have nothing on me. Aw, Merwaz, I wish I was wanted. Ladies? Oh, that's... Now I has a sad. So ladies, if you're listening, Commander Merwaz is available. HS, get a pet. No, there's a difference between wanted and needy. Yeah, there was an old episode of the Patrick Warburton version of The Tick where it was Captain Liberty, and she kept trying to ask the supervillain for advice while she was guarding him. He was trying to sleep, and she'd just tap on the glass in a cell and like, "You awake? What do you want? Am I needy? No, you are wanty. Let me go back to sleep." And she taps on the glass again. Which is worse, needy or wanty? Maybe he was thinking of a keelback at the time, I don't know. Find me a parking spot.
Requesting.
Budman, bit of truth to the statement, dogs have owners, cats have staff. I don't know, I've never had to take my cat out to use the bathroom. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Gear down.
Lowering gear.
Merwaz, I can't bring myself to get a cat. Poor thing would have to live in my dirty apartment. Can't bring myself to get a dog. No way, I'd have to walk outside. You know, you may want to... A little bit of walking outside time ain't bad for you. Okay, Silas, I did your scan job. Give me something more fun here. Moo, don't go filling his head with silly ideas. Merwaz went outside once, got hit by a car. Huh. Now tell me it's not bad. Okay, Gret, I read that as I have a car, but I'm allergic. You have a cat, but you're allergic. Gotcha. Nope, not the Didiko. Bureau of Lehigh, and fun. Oh. Union of Wang free. Come on, give me something, guys. Nope. Wang Purple Society. Disable the emplacement power grid. Man with an accent. Walking outside is healthy, but not in negative 46 degrees in Winnipeg. Oh, and negative 46, that's around the place where Fahrenheit and Celsius just kind of converge and they, yeah. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I have no desire for that. Hardcore CNF crosses at negative 40. I was close enough. I'm American. I am ignorant of temperatures. Well, I'm just ignorant of metric. Although, speaking of Winnipeg, did see one of your Canadian demon monsters outside. Gear up.
Gear up.
Walking home from errands this morning and there was a Canada goose in the park. I've got this theory. Canada goose is kind of like Canada's Horcrux. That's where all the evil goes. Oh, Bacon, I miss you. There's this comic I saw a while back, just something somebody made on the web. And it was a Canadian exorcism. And when the demon came out, it turned into a Canada goose and flew off. Gret, it's funny because the other two countries that use the Imperial system are Liberia and Myanmar. You never picture those as having their shit together. Seen the news lately? Yeah, and the demon didn't even say sorry. I know! That's why you know it's evil Canadian. Some kind of Canada demon bird. I actually heard an interesting thing from a friend. Studies this kind of thing. Loves linguistics. Loves, you know, just stories, legends, tales, whatever. And she was saying that, back in the day, olden days, very olden days, that wasps were described by the clergy as the devil's attempt to make beads. I mean, they're not wrong. Also saw a pretty amusing video, well, amusing. Somebody trying to get rid of a hornet's nest by dropping it into a plastic shopping bag and cinching it up. Well, those things just chewed right through that stuff, and then you had bees. Wasps were the devil's attempt at making bees, you know, buzz, buzz, honey, hive, etc. But yeah, there was a video of somebody attempting to drop a hornet's nest into a... yeah, how about dropping it into an active volcano? That's not a bad idea. But no, they just dropped it into a plastic shopping bag and cinched it up and, yeah, Turns out those guys have some pretty nasty mandibles too, and they will chew right through a plastic shopping bag, and then they're going to have some very angry, pointy words with you. Hell, it was halfway to a Hefty Bag commercial. And then, of course, you've got the video of somebody screaming with a cloud of hornets chasing after them. It's very Looney Tunes. I'm a terrible person. Gret, why would the devil try to make bees? I don't know. Bored one day? He was just having an off day. Got tired of the conversation, I don't know. Like my folks always said, heaven for the climate, hell for the company. Lakon, Kilo, Yankee, Lima, request docking clearance.
And then?
And then we land. Gear down.
Deploying landing modules.
Bees are just flies on Kawasaki's. Verid, my preferred method of removing hornets is a 12 gauge with the plug removed. Ah, so you went with the frag cannon build. The engineered frag cannon. I can respect that. Didn't Tesla make a hornet's nest remover? I believe he made a death ray. Which, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. No, that was a flamethrower, my bad. Yeah, and then you have flaming wasps everywhere. And then, yeah. There was actually an article on Fark about a fellow who, Ooh. Here we go. Oh, that's the Alliance of Sanguojin. Dang it. Give me something good here. Assassinate Pirate Lord. Assassinate Pirate Lord. This is about as good as we're gonna get, and you know what? That's pretty good. And it's in the Adensu system. Let's go have a word with our new friend. Let's go have a word with our new friend. Gear up.
Retracting landing gear.
Murwaz, I wonder how fast I would go down if I tried to do what you do. What, you mean the wing assassinations? Depends on how engineered you are. I'd give my Anaconda 20 seconds. Master 10 was doing alright. He was holding his own. He was holding his own in an earlier fight. He was asking for help on the wing assassination he was doing. Grez, 07 Commander. And, yeah, between the two of us, I mean, I just took out the big target and he, well, he served as target practice, but he survived. Until he jumped back. There was a wingman navlock going on, and he accidentally dropped back down into the combat zone, and then there were 5 surviving angry pirates, and he didn't have any shields. But he got paid. That's the important part. Never let it be said otherwise. Also, I'm told, well, checking out the forums, that it is an accident that the Discovery scanner is no longer finding pirates. Trying to make money exploring using the Road to Riches website to plot a course. I only got 1.2 million in a Cobra 3 so far. Man with an accent, do you have a detailed surface scanner? Merwaz, maybe 50 to 60% engineered, if maybe less if you want to get real crazy. That's what's going to give you the most money, man with an accent. That's going to be, you spend an extra $250,000 on the detailed surface scanner, and suddenly the money starts rolling in. And just what we need, invisible pirates. Hasn't helped him so far.
Incoming mission critical message.
Booscore, me, Tommy, and Bud came up with a good tactic on wing assassinations last night. And what tactic would that be? A Densu 11B. 11B and it's only 1700. Huh. Planet 11 and it's only 1700 light seconds out. Compact system. System map.
System cartography.
Man with an accent, I spent the past few days watching your past videos. I'm tired now. Sorry, man. Booscore flew in, drew fire, Tommy and Bud jumped in behind the pirates chasing me and blew them all up. Ah, the secret, I'll distract them while you shoot them a lot technique. It's a good technique. It seems to work in many cases of warfare over history. Kind of like Brick in Borderlands. They were no match for my secret walk up and punch them in the face till they die technique. I'm gonna start beating your face in. I'm not gonna stop until I hit tonsils. Mr. Moo doesn't do tactics, he does brute force. Brute force is a tactic. Sometimes I hit it with an axe is the subtle way of doing it. Set 1-3.
All shields.
Routing power.
Regret. Overkill is underrated. There you go. iMage worked for the Romans. Exactly. A man with an accent went to the res to kill bad guys after 3 hours. Not a lot of action. Finally went to bed. Only been playing for a week. Gotcha. It comes. There's feast and there's famine. Wing up with somebody, and actually, if you go into a res and you've got a wing, it seems that more targets do come by. You got me to buy this game. Oh. Congrats, or thank you, or my condolences. I'm not sure which. For some people, it's condolences. For other people, it's I'm glad to hear it, and, you know, a little bit of different strokes for different folks. Although one at neck height usually works. We're at level 5, here we go. Congratulations. I thank you, the wife doesn't. Ah.
Awaiting orders.
Target power plant.
Targeting.
Under attack.
Nope.
Warning. Shield breach attack. Taking damage.
You want to go toe-to-toe? We'll go toe-to-toe.
Warning. Corrosion. Damage resistance weakened.
Split 2-3.
Hull breach attack. Taking internal damage. Repeat.
Set 2-1.
Max engines.
I'm gonna have to figure out a new hobby. This is starting to get a little routine. Typical Moose-style operation. Yep. Oh, we're gonna have to figure out if this can be done with other builds. I don't know that I could pull this off with a Fer-de-Lance. I mean, it's got the shields, but... boy, I don't know. A keelback would do it easily. World's first wing assassination in a hauler? Soon. I made a hauler that can do 500 meters per second. Why? All for the keelback for mining. She's a good ship. I'm not going to stomp on the hopes and dreams of new players. That's just gouge. Right. Oh, man with an accent knows. I actually posted a, what I thought was a rather thoughtful analysis of the keelback when it comes to mining. In that I thought you'd actually have better luck creating a mining Viper 4. Merwaz, I got an idea. Make a keelback, tough as a block of hardened steel, and then give it a bunch of speed, and you use it like a brick to the face. Brilliant! How do I get through the shields? Let me know how to get through the shields, and then we can talk. You know, assuming this block of hardened steel doesn't get melted down. Because everybody's throwing lasers at me. Oh, Merwaz finds his own way out. Don't! A man with an accent is waiting for the crate. Oh, yes. I think we're all going to have fun with the crate. I'll almost be a little sad if the crate comes out and it's better than the chieftain, because then I'll have to, you know, Do something else with this thing. Just get them to lower shields at the sight of your harmless ship. It's a block of steel. They may just try to mine me. That's no good. Boost score. Glue 9-volt battery to the front. Contact will short out the shields instantly. Let's, That's an idea. That's definitely an idea. I've seen ideas before. I can usually recognize them. But I do wonder, actually, about railing, doing some kind of crate or keelback, undecided. Wait for the crate. It's that thing, from what I've seen of the external analysis, it's going to be a beast. A mighty, mighty beast. Gear down?
Gear down and slow. The ship is yours to dock.
The ship is always mine to dock, but thank you very much. Overshot by a couple meters. Soft landing, though. So if anybody's betting against me in the landing pool, well, I just defeated your expectations again. So eat it. Alright, Silas, got another one for you. Right now saving for an Asp Explorer to go on a long journey. There you go. Asp Explorer is a good ship for going on a long journey. Zoobibble. Huh. Modified embedded firmware. Yes. And I think on that literal bombshell, we're going to call it here for the weekend. Unless something big happens on Saturday, in which case I will be back online. I'll be back online Saturday if anything big hits the fan. And then we will go from there. Let's see here. Compromised, went to the drive-thru, so I'm back just in time. Well, welcome back, Master 10. iMage, given long development times for space games, should be another anytime, yeah. HS, what could happen tomorrow? Okay, let me give the quick rundown here before we take off for everybody that's just arrived late, or, everybody doesn't know what's going on. So, yesterday, there was a listening post that's been dormant since it was put in. Nobody knows what it did, what it broadcast, whatever. Yesterday, it lit up, and it fired off a message. Now, this message is historically significant because the message was the same one broadcast to the French resistance just prior to D-Day, Operation Overlord, the Allied invasion of France during World War II. We don't know who's broadcasting the message. We don't know who the message is directed towards. All we know is the historical significance of it, and it's got us, well, Canon Research is, They've recalled all their folks. They're basically going to red alert. I've got my Federal Corvette equipped for anti-Xeno activity, just in case. The timing also coincides with PAX East. And if the 48-hour message pans out, that means it's going to happen. Something big is... If it happens, it's most likely going to happen on Saturday. So, all of that said... And just in case, a Thargoid hive ship comes blasting out of the great void between stars, we'll be here. We'll be ready. And I will have some kind of ship ready because, yeah, well, Commander Hardcore got hyperdicted the other day. out of Narvert, which is a little on the scary side. So yeah, if anything goes wrong, we'll be here on the front line. In the meantime, I'm Mr. Moo, and you guys have been great as always. Always a pleasure to meet new people. Always a pleasure to talk, answer questions, disprove, when folks go, "You can't do that in a chieftain." Ha ha ha. Hell if I can't. Fly safe, everybody. If you can't fly safe, fly dangerous. If you can't fly safe or fly dangerous, read the manual. Best way to fly safe and or dangerous. Take care, everybody. See you again on Monday, barring some kind of universe-shaking event over the weekend. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Oh, wait. No, we need to send you off to somebody else, don't we? Come on, chat. Where are we going off to now? Who am I going to direct you towards? Let's see. As always, let's throw you over to, Actually, let's throw you over to Athador. Over to Athador, who's doing a Fuel Rat rescue stream, though it looks like he's winged up right now. Either way, off you go. Have fun. Play nice, kids. And I will see you all again soon.